Hey guys, so this video is going to be a bit different from what I usually do. I usually do hair videos, but this video is going to be about my experience with ulcerative colitis. And I put off making this video for a long time because it's so difficult, you know, to talk to people about. But I was recently hospitalized because of, you know, the disease and complications with it. And like, I'm to the point where I want to be able to talk to other people who have the condition, maybe have experience with it. And maybe help somebody who's newly diagnosed and doesn't really know what to deal with. So I'm going to do this video in like different parts. And this first part of the video is going to be about just diagnosis and stuff like that, medicine, and then the next part is going to be about, you know, hospitalizations, how to deal with it, you know, weird people that you have to deal with when you have roommates. So anyway, this first part, I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. Next month will be a decade. So I've been living with it for 10 years now, and honestly, I can't say that it's gotten any easier. So let me tell you, you know, just some background about what happened with my diagnosis. Me and my friends were out, you know, hanging out. I was like 19 years old, a couple weeks before my birthday, and you know, some guys who, you know, like tried to hang out with us or whatever, wouldn't leave us alone. They eventually robbed and assaulted us. And the stress of having to deal with being robbed, I guess it just set off that gene, you know, that gene that you carry that has ulcerative colitis or Crohn's, and just the stress from that whole ordeal, you know, brought on the disease. My friends eventually got like all their stuff back except for their money. They never found my purse or any of that, and I was assaulted, and we had to go to the police station and just all types of stuff, and it just immediately manifested itself and has not stopped since then. And stress still is a big trigger for me, and usually during times of great amounts of stress in my life, I have a flare-up. So after going to multiple doctors and trying to figure out what was going on with me, like I thought I was maybe dying or something. After going to multiple doctors, they finally figured out what was going on, and I started being medicated with Asacol. I don't know the generic name for it, but yeah, I started off with Asacol. I think I was taking up to like 9 of those pills a day. Like, it was an absurd amount before I asked, back in 2007, January 2007, I asked my doctors to find a cheaper alternative, because these medicines are really expensive. So they put me on sulfasalazine, and I was on that medication. Like, I was hospitalized January 2007, and then a month later, I was back in the hospital again because I was having an allergic reaction to sulfasalazine. I'm severely allergic to sulfa drugs, and I found that out because of that medicine. So after that, they shortly, like for a small amount of time, they put me back on Asacol, and then I begged my doctors after that to like find a cheaper alternative for me. And so that's when well, in those months, I was having like just problems. The medicine was not controlling the flares. In 2007, that was a really hard year for me. I was hospitalized 3 times in the span of 5 months. Like I said, I changed my medicine, found out that I'm severely allergic to all sulfa drugs, and I got a C. diff infection twice. I got C. diff January of that year, and I got C. diff in May of that year again. Yeah, and I actually missed my daughter's first birthday. I was hospitalized on her birthday that year in 2007 because I was so sick, and that was because of the allergic reaction. But just, you know, the madness that goes on with this digestive disease, and it's really stressful. And so anyway, now I'm on Imuran. I'm on a high dose of steroids, well, you know, prednisone, and I'm on a slow taper, so I'm not going to be off prednisone probably until the end of next month, around my birthday. So Imuran, Lealda, prednisone, and those are just the medicines I take to manage the ulcerative colitis, because I take other meds to manage anemia and asthma. It's freaking crazy. I'm tired of taking pills. Anyway, so that's been my experience. I'm not crazy about Imuran because I have to get blood tests like every 2 weeks with that. I think it's because you can have kidney or liver failure, something like that. But anyway, they have to monitor like everything in your body to make sure you just don't drop dead from the medicine, what the medicine is doing. You know, they tell you that, oh, this medicine has all these great benefits, and, you know, the risk outweigh the harmful effects that the drug can give you. But you can't tell me that when I can't go 2 weeks without, you know, not getting my blood drawn. Anyway, so that's really all that, you know, about the history of my disease and medicine that I've been on. Like I said, I wanted to talk about this and do it in parts because I have never met anyone in real life, like real life, never met anyone who had ulcerative colitis. My cousin has Crohn's disease, but he lives in, you know, a couple states away. I don't get to see him, and I miss him at Thanksgiving because I had to work. So, you know, I want to meet other people who have this disease, hear their stories, and I'm curious about what you guys do for medicine, all of that, because after having this disease now for almost 10 years, I feel like I'm still so lost about what I'm supposed to do. Like, you would think after having it for so long, I would know how to manage it, but it's been declared chronic, and I just feel like it's always out of control. Like, I was just in the hospital a couple weeks ago, and you know, I just have so many problems with it because I was like vomiting for almost a whole week, and the doctors, after they did a scope down into my stomach, they still don't know why I was vomiting. So I don't even understand what are supposed to be like the typical you know, symptoms with ulcerative colitis, because this was new. The only time I've ever threw up with ulcerative colitis was when I had C. diff infections. I had 2 C. diff infections in 2007. And that's what I thought I had again, was C. diff, and no, it was just ulcerative colitis. So anyway, I'm going to move on now to hospitalization and how, you know, to deal with that. So stay tuned.